Top of it. Yeah, I got inspiration for a video. I was listening to another one, and this is a topic that I meant to go over for a minute now. I just kept forgetting to, honestly. And I had a little time, so I want to, sit back and talk for a bit, talk to y'all one more once, But hey, man, being a nice guy doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people claim that they're a nice guy, and I have to admit, I used to think that I was a nice guy. You know what I mean? I used to think that I was a nice guy, and I did all the right things, and just because I'm doing nice things doesn't mean I'm doing them for a good reason. You get what I'm saying? Just because I'm doing something nice doesn't mean I'm doing them for a good reason. Right? Being nice and being kind are two completely different qualities. Completely different qualities. And they come from different places. Being nice means that you're doing it as a way to get something. Right? As a way of reciprocation for something. Right? So, I was just being nice to my neighbors so they wouldn't, extend the conversation. Right? I was just being nice so I didn't start any conflict. Right? In these cases, it doesn't matter that you're being nice, right? Let me backtrack. In this case, the actual factor of being a solid person and doing something beneficial is not in question here. That's not the goal. The goal is to make it as comfortable as possible for you to get the thing that you want out of the situation. You understand? Being kind just means doing it from a place of, I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. So let's go into the scope of the video that I was watching. And I have to apologize to the creator. I really don't remember the creator's name. I don't even honestly remember the title of the video. It was something about nice guys. I don't even remember. So I'll probably have to find it and put it in the description. But anyway. Being nice in the context of trying to get a girl or get a woman or something like that, right? If you're in high school, if you're in the earlier ages, if you're trying to get a girl in your class or something like that, but if you're a fella who's in the upper ages, maybe you're out of high school, you're now in college, you're trying to get yourself a woman or something like that. You being nice doesn't automatically equate to having good traits, having good qualities. You're trying to get something out of the interaction, right? At the end of the day, you're trying to get her to like you, right? That's what being nice means. You're trying to get her to like you. So you're doing all of these things because you know that it should yield a result of, oh, she's going to like me because I'm nice. But at the end of the day, you're just putting on a mask. It's masquerading, right? So you're just being nice to help yourself. You're not trying to help her, right? And in this case, especially if you do get her, right? The mask is going to fall off, and you're not really going to be a benefit to the relationship because this isn't really you. So again, you're doing it for selfish reasons, and you're sitting here trying to you're trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm really this person, I'm really built like this. In actuality, you're doing it for selfish reasons, and that will come out within the relationship. But a kind person, the person who's genuinely trying to be good, who genuinely has these good traits, they're just going to do this stuff, and if, it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out, or roll off the shoulder. It's, she's her own person. She can choose however she desires. She's not obligated to do anything. Just like you wouldn't want her to feel like, you wouldn't want to feel obligated to her just because she's doing something. Nobody wants to feel obligated to somebody by force, right? And in this case, by force means like, oh, I'm trying to coerce you with good deeds. Coerce you with good deeds. Right? You want them to choose. The reason why you want this person to choose, to have the faculty of choice involved, to have the freedom of wanting to pick you out of everyone else, is because it's built on something genuine. Right? Hopefully. Sometimes, people pick others because they look nice, or, they pick people for superficial reasons. But at the very least, if they choose you, it's because of something personal to them. Right? You don't want to try to coerce them because it's not going to end well. It's going to cause certain, I can't think of the word right now, but it's going to cause certain splits within the relationship. And what you need here, or rather what the nice guy needs here, is to realize that you're not as good as you believe you are. Right? I'm talking to the guys here because this is the world that I was in. The nice girls, you need to do the same thing, but the so-called nice girls need to do the same thing, but that's a whole nother thing. But again, you guys got to realize that you're not as good as you think you are. You don't have all the great qualities. Okay, you have a nice job and you have a nice car and things like that. You got a cool job. What is she supposed to bend over backwards because you like that? Compared to the guy who doesn't really care much, and he's just being more honest about the fact that, hey man, I'm not a nice guy. I'm just trying to get you in bed with me. He's more honest about it. Hey man, and I got the resources to show you that, at least while you're with me for this time being, it's going to be, it's going to be cool for you. You'll be comfortable. At the very least, you know what I'm saying? But beyond that point, man, you got to understand that you're just like them in that respect. You're just lying about it. Yeah, you're just trying to spin a web of fiction to them, and then when the reality emerges, you know what I'm saying? You're just like that other guy. Except, hey, you might be worse. You probably are worse because you were sitting here lying about it the whole time. You know what I mean? So, the fact of the matter is, man, you got to stop feeling like you're obligated to their time and obligated to them. You ain't obligated to that woman, and you would hate for her to find out, right, that, oh yeah, I was doing all this nice stuff just so you would get in bed with me. I mean, a lot of these guys, they'll probably be fine with that, because they just want anything and everything, because they haven't been with a woman in a long time, or maybe they, they just, I don't know. I could say that they weird or something like that, but I don't even know if that'd be the right term. But they ain't been with a woman in a long time, or they don't know what it's like to genuinely be with a woman, So you have to, and I have a lot of points in my mind, so I'm losing track of my thoughts a lot here. But you don't want anybody to feel obligated to one another. You want that freedom of choice. And I'm going over these points a lot because it's important that people don't delude themselves into believing that they're better than they actually are. I mean, that can get you really angry, and it can get you to be really, it can get you to become jaded. It can get you to become really selfish, right? And that can cause you to resort to other other means of trying to get them, right? And it's not the way to go. You genuinely don't need to be such a violent, you don't need to go in the way of violence. You don't need to resort to anger. You don't need to become depressed. You don't need to do any of that. Listen, people are allowed to choose. And it's okay for people to choose. It's alright. There's so many people out there. Just because 10 don't pick you doesn't mean 11 won't. And if 10 don't pick you, look to see look to see the quality of yourself, and look to see the quality of these individuals that keeps attracting you to them. What is it about you that, you think? Because here's the thing. Before I even get into that, people know what qualities about themselves probably aren't adding up. People know that they're not perfect. People are more they're more intuitive about themselves than they like to believe. But also they also delude themselves, because people don't like to be honest with the fact that they have problems. They don't want to be honest with the fact that they have certain deficiencies within their character that need to be worked on. And it's okay. It's okay to not have the best quality. It's okay to not be the best at everything. It's okay to not necessarily be the greatest person to be with. The point is that you're always working to be better. That's the point. And so when you're looking for people, and when you're reviewing things about yourself, you got to understand that, okay, maybe I'm not the best at talking. Maybe I'm not the best. Maybe I'm not a comedian when it comes to dealing with women. Maybe the thing that I need to go after is just sticking to the points of talking that I need to. Sticking to my talking points. Maybe just being more direct will work for me. Right? Maybe I need to practice on working up to the point. Working up to my intention, rather than just putting it out on the table flat before conversation just started. It's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? Okay, yeah. Hey, first things first. I'm just gonna let you know right now. I just want to lay with you. Yeah, I just want to get your back dirty. You know what I mean? I just want to get you in between them blankets, man. You know what I mean? I don't even care, man. I want you on that velvet. You understand me? You just tripping. Lose your mind. Ain't even been 5 minutes. Now she looking at you like, what is going on? And she might go for it. She might be like, well, shoot, we can get out of here then. We can go head back to the room. But, you get a lot of these guys saying this stuff, man. They don't look the part to be saying stuff like that. I'm just going to be honest. They don't look the part. You know what I mean? So, you don't look the part and you saying outlandish stuff like that, she's not going to go for it. And plus, she don't have that confirmation that you're safe. She don't got that confirmation that you're safe. Just because she met you out in public doesn't mean that she thinks you're safe. That doesn't mean that she thinks you're good to go. And that's another thing, ladies. I'm going to mess it up for these nice guys, man. Y'all need to vet a little more thoroughly, man, so you keep yourself safe. I've heard and known of too many instances where you know, young ladies will sit up there and they'll go into these situations and they only known the guy 2 hours, and they'll go into, intimate private settings. A lot of them come out of the situation no problem. They get what they want, both of them get what they want, so to speak, and then they go. Not today. I'm not saying that the majority of those situations end badly, but I know that some have. I know that some have become dangerous, and luckily the ladies had the women, they came out of that situation safe. But you can avoid those situations if you just don't put yourself, if you scope out the area better. If you don't go out and get intoxicated with strangers. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all need to admit that you're addicts, man. Some of y'all need to admit that you're bad people. Now I'm talking to everybody. Some of y'all need to admit that you're not necessarily the best person on the planet. That you're not the best person in that setting. That you are a little bit jealous. That you are a bit selfish. Hey, what can I do to work on that? What can I do to become a little bit better about myself? What is it that I am not doing? What is it that is making me so angry right now? What is affecting my heart so much that when she rejects me, I just get pissed off? And I feel like every single woman is like this just because 5 rejected me. Yeah, man, 5 have rejected me too, and some have accepted me. So what? There's been some beautiful women. I listen. And I tell you, man, I'm like, man, she got good conversation. We talking nice. Everything's cool. Ghosted. Okay. And I got a little upset. I'm like, dang, man. But then I'm like, hold on. Okay, I can feel upset that, she didn't want to be honest about it. But again, she has the choice. She has the freedom to do whatever she wants to do. Why am I taking it personally? That's something wrong on her end. That's something wrong with that individual in particular. Not every single woman on the planet is going to react like that. I've had women honestly tell me, hey, I appreciate your interest, but I'm just, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. No worries. No problem. Thanks for being honest. And I still hope they doing well to this day. Whoever they with. I don't care if they in bed with some other fella. Good for him. What's that got to do with me? I hope that they're living good lives. Because what does it have to do with me? Were they trying to hurt me because they said no? No. They just were exercising their right to choose. That's it. That's it. They were just exercising their right to choose. Absolutely. Tell me that you don't want to be with me. I'm not going to take it personally. In fact, I'm going to commend you for being honest. If you don't want it, don't take it. If you don't want it, don't take it. Now, for women, that's it's hard to do. I understand there's certain situations where some fellas will get angry, and these are the fellas that I'm trying to convince that if you get rejected, it's not that big of a deal. If you get rejected, that doesn't mean that that every woman walking in the supermarket is just going to suddenly dislike you. But there's also a quality there, you understand me, that might need to be worked on. That probably needs to be worked on. If you're constantly getting rejected before you even get your foot in the door, or if you're constantly getting rejected right before the moment happens. You know what I mean? Right before that click happens. If you're on a date and then it's slowly, every time, they slowly become more disinterested with you. Every time. There's a problem there. And it's not just them, right? It's you. You got to work on something about yourself. If you notice that, if you got to pick up on the look that they give you. Listen, man, they'll tell you with their face sometimes. They'll tell you with their body. Sometimes they'll just tell you outright. Most times they won't just tell you. They'll just want to get out the situation. Right? But just like you, I hope that if you have any friends or something, or if you have people that you talk to, that you're able to know when they're like disinterested in the conversation based on the tone of their voice, or based on the way that they look, or based on, the way that they try to get off of a conversation. I hope that you can do the same with women, because, surprise, man, they're still people. They're still individuals, same as you, which is why I say when they exercise the right to freedom, they're allowed to do it. Just like you are. We're all just trying to make it in life. We're all just trying to get where we need to get to, man. Ain't nothing wrong with them saying no every now and then. Sometimes they're going to be, you dodged the bullet by them saying no. Because they really weren't solid people. And sometimes, they were solid people, but they just didn't want you. Oh, well. I got, for me, when I get rejected, man, I got better things to do than sit here and cry about it and sit here and get on the internet and type paragraphs about it. I got better things to do. I got better things to do, man. I think about it. I go over, what was right, what was wrong. Okay, what were the signs that I messed up and I ignored because I wanted to like her so bad, right? What were the things that I did? What were the things that she did? What were the things that we weren't going to match on? And when I really think about it, most of the time, when I really think about it, when I'm now out of the situation and I take a look at it, because like I said, hindsight's 20/20, or like I always say, hindsight's 20/20. You look at it and it's like, oh man, yeah, we didn't match. But I was trying to force it. Because shoot, man, that lust was taking over me. Keep it real. That lust was taking over me. So I was, I was messing around. And I wasn't looking at it objectively like I should have. Where this just isn't right for me. We're just not right for each other. That don't mean nothing, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's a horrible person and I'm a horrible person. It just means that it is what it is. But listen. Now that I've ran it, take a look at yourself. Are you really a nice guy? Are you really a nice guy? Or are you just saying that you're nice to get something? Are you really just like that bad guy that you keep talking about? Are you really just like him? Be honest, man. You spending all that money on her. You being all nice to her. You letting her do what she wants. You letting her, you can do this. You can pick the place and, whatever makes you more comfortable and things. And you're just constantly giving her what she wants because you want her to give you what you want at the end of the day. Because let's be honest, man. Yeah, you guys do want girlfriends, but if you've never had one, you don't know what it takes. You don't know what's required to have a girlfriend. Y'all have this image in your mind. You have this magical image of the woman or the girl in your mind. You have this magical image of them, where you think that yeah, man, when we get together, this is going to solve all the problems. No, she might add more. She might add more problems. She might introduce problems. Not because she's just going to be a problem, she's going to be a problem in general, but having another person in your life, that's going to introduce a different sort of issue. Maybe she's upset about something. Now you guys need to talk it out, and you might be tired. You might want to get on the game with the homies. You might have somewhere to go. But she's angry. She's upset about something. There's something bothering her. And so what do you got to do? As somebody who's supposed to be on her side, a partner, hey, listen, what's going on? I know I'm tired. I'm just going to let you know right now I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I just got off this shift. But listen, I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to, take some time. And there's going to be some cases, she might sit up there and be like, nah, go ahead to sleep. It's cool. It's not that big of a deal. I'll talk to you about it later when you're more awake. But sometimes she might just go off. And you got to listen. Sometimes she might be angry. She may not even tell you. You're like, what is going on? I just got off this shift. Now you tripping. Like, will you just tell me what's wrong so that we can get to the bottom of it? And you got to sit here and decipher and, work the jigsaw puzzle after you just got off a 12-hour shift or something like that. Come on, man. Let's be real. You nice guys ain't ready for something like that. You sitting here getting mad because she said no. You ain't ready for something like that, man. You ain't ready for the responsibility of helping one another. You just want to help yourselves. You understand me? It's this stuff ain't a game. So you might as well just be honest. Don't even try to say that you're nice guys. But I don't want y'all using that title. I want y'all to get away from the title. I want y'all to start being real with yourselves. Because let's be honest, having a real partner is way better than just sleeping with everybody and not having nobody at the end of the day. You go back home to that empty room. Or you're constantly going back to your room with strangers who don't really have any good intents for you. In fact, they may have ill will towards you. But they just wanted to lay with you for a little bit because you seem like a good time. You seem like a decent commodity. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Let's keep it on the square now. Let's not treat each other as things, man. Let's not treat each other as just something to come by. Let's not tell each other these lies saying that I'm a nice person. I'm a nice person, trust me. Then when you don't get your way, you start flying off the handle. I can't believe that you're a nice person and you sitting here calling me all types of words because I told you no. Right? And that's the same with the woman. She can't, I don't think that she can believe that you're a nice person, man. And you just called her all types of things outside of her name because she said she didn't want to go on a date with you today. I can't believe that. I can't believe that she thinks you're a nice person and you trying to and she said no and you still trying to show up at her job and show up at all types of places and text her every 5 minutes back, okay, you ready now? She said no already. Like, come on, man. We got to be real about it. We got to be real about it, man. Y'all can't be playing these kinds of games. You got to be serious about this. These guys be playing. Nice guys? And you're losing your mind off of this? How do you handle actual problems? Come on now. There's more to it than that. There's more to it than her saying no. Like I said, let it roll off the shoulder. Think about it a bit, but don't attribute every single individual instance to every single woman. And don't get on the internet and look at these channels where, okay, they do talk to a bunch of chicks on the street. But again, you have to understand that there are certain types of people that some of these guys interview. There are certain specific types of people with specific or similar mindsets that are interviewed and talked to. Because a lot of the time, the girl that you're looking for is not on these little talk shows and stuff like that. She's not going to be on there because she knows it's foolishness already. She knows that she goes on there, she's already looked at some kind of way. She is not going to be heard. She's not going to be listened to. And it's the same way with some fellas when they go on these shows. They ain't going to appear on these shows. It's not beneficial to them. They're going to be looked at wrong. Look, man, when it comes to some of these shows, it's just for entertainment and to spread whatever narrative needs to be spread to get more views. Y'all got to be smart about this stuff. The whole reason for these videos is to demonize the other. You understand me? Got me stuttering, man. You got to be careful with that. You have to be careful with that kind of nonsense. When you consume that, it puts a bug in your mind. And it reinforces it every time you look at it. And if you don't try to look at the other side of things, if you don't really get outside and talk to people, if you don't really get in communities and groups that encourage critical thinking, that encourage dialogues and debates, not arguments, but dialogues and debates. If you don't get in those communities, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get into a place where messages and negative messages are reinforced. You'll be put into what people like to call an echo chamber, where the same message is echoed all throughout. And you'll begin to think that you're right. You'll begin to think that you're right. But based off of what? Based off of evidence that truly is not yours. That you truly haven't thought about. And let me tell you something. The reason why I'm able to say this is because I have been in the situation before where I thought that I knew what I was talking about. I thought that the content that I was consuming was like, okay, it's reinforced because some of my own personal experiences kind of matched what they were saying. But I was smart enough to be like, hold on, this don't sound right. Let me look at the other side, see what they're saying. And it sounded like my side. It sounded just as polarizing as my side. It sounded just as jaded as my side. And so then I realized that I was looking based on extremes. Each side was based on extremes. So guess what? I did some thinking of my own. And I really thought about, okay, if I'm really getting jealous and upset, why? Why am I doing all this? Why am I having an emotional response to somebody telling me no? Why am I having an emotional response to somebody telling me no? And not just a minor emotional response. No, I'm starting to get angry. I'm starting to feel depression. What is happening here? This isn't right. Something's off about this entire mindset that I have developed. Right? And a mindset of jealousy. Right? And based on what? And then I backtracked to how far it started. And it started back when I was in school. It goes that far back. And so it takes time to undo and unravel this stuff. But you have to notice that. So you telling yourself that you're a nice guy doesn't really make any sense if you really haven't thought about it. And she's not obligated to be with you. Like I said, she's not obligated to do nothing if you really haven't thought about nothing. Like I said, I'm just talking to the fellas right now. The ladies, y'all can take in this message and you can see, you can take what you can from it. If it applies to you, come on and apply it to your life. I'm not excluding, but I'm mainly talking to the fellas. Because we gotta be better. there might be people looking up to you in your life and you sitting here trying to spread your jaded message onto them. And you ain't really thought about it. Trying to be talking about you're a nice guy. Hey man, don't put that on the children, man. The children ain't do nothing to you. Don't put that on your daughters or your nieces or your cousins, or, those that are younger than you coming up in the world. Don't put that on them, man. Spread a better message. Hey man, don't end up like me. Don't end up like me where I'm upset and jaded and I feel sorry for myself. Nah, man, build yourself up. Pick correctly. When you look at when you're getting into a relationship, figure out what it is that you're attracted to. Figure out who it is, if I'm constantly attracted to this type of person who seems to have some kind of danger to him, why am I attracted to that danger? What am I trying to get out of it? What am I doing? The youngsters, man, they're more attracted to that stuff, man, because they're experimenting. They're going through life. They're still growing. You older folks out there claiming to be nice guys, you've been through some of the things. But you sitting here trying to spread that same teenage narrative. That same teenage mindset. And you begin looking like the guys that they're dating. What in the world is going on? We got to be bigger than that. The reason why I made this video, and I made a long stretch, I didn't even think I was going to go this long, but I just had to talk. The reason why it's important to acknowledge the fact that maybe you're not a nice guy, to acknowledge the qualities of yourself that aren't really that great, and to move toward bettering yourself, to becoming a better individual, to putting yourself in or even developing communities that inspire critical thinking, that inspire thought, that inspire community thinking. Right? That inspire debate rather than argument. That inspire rational thinking rather than emotional thinking. The reason why you do these things is because you want to develop into being the best person that you possibly can, but to also inspire and affect those positively, beneficially, who are growing up in life. To show them another path if they're going down the wrong one. To show them that if they're going down the right path, that continuing down that same path is good for them. That it will lead to something beneficial. That this is how they can look as adults. You understand what I'm saying? You want to speak well. You want to conduct yourself well. Walk with your shoulders back, head held high. Not looking at the ground, constantly talking about what could have been and what should have been. Make your life now. Construct your life now. I don't care how old you are. Build it now. Do something now. And don't try to dig holes for those that are younger than you now, the youth. And them youngsters out there, man. They're, people trying to dig enough holes for them, man. Let's put ladders. Let's build ladders now. Let's show them that there's something up there. There's something beneficial by being a good person. There's something beneficial by constantly striving to be better. I'm done. I just wanted to talk for a bit. I just wanted to chop it up with you one more once, man. Y'all continue to be a benefit to yourselves and others, and I hope to speak to you again soon.